Now, I understand you're a social media whiz.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could say that. I love social media. And
I don't. Tell me. Help me love it, please.
Okay, I try to encourage a lot of people to get on board with social media because, for one thing, you can start to promote your work and do a lot with that before you're published. And you can gain a following and get an audience, in the process while you're looking at getting published. And one of my favorite things about social media is that it's free for the most part. It's free advertising. And so it doesn't really, there's no downside to it besides that it takes time.
How do you find the line? Okay, so you want to be on one of these sites.
Okay.
And do you friend everybody then that wants to friend you? How do you keep yourself safe?
So something, let's say with Facebook, that's a really popular example, it's hard because you have to find the balance between having your regular life and then promoting your work. Because if you're constantly talking about your novels or your work all the time and you're putting this out to all your friends, eventually they're going to just start ignoring what's in the timeline, which is kind of sad. So you kind of have to find a balance between not ignoring or driving your friends crazy and being able to promote your work.
And how have you found that balance? Do you think you...
Well, I try to keep separate what I think needs to be, and not post too much personal stuff because it can be a little bit scary. And so I have like a fan page for my book, and then I have my own personal Facebook, and that's been really helpful to say, if you're interested in my book, you can find all the information on my fan page for Facebook.
I want to know now, as I always love hearing about authors' stories of how they start writing. Can you tell me yours?
Yes. So when I was in junior high, I really got into reading and realized, oh my gosh, I really want to be an author. I want to create that same kind of magic because when I was younger, I really struggled with reading and had a hard time until I found the right books. And all of a sudden, everything changed and my grades improved and I loved school. And so I kind of realized that's what I want to do. And I remember telling my dad, I want to be a writer, when I was 13. And he said, you should do it. I believe in you and you should do that, which was kind of like, oh, okay, I guess I can do this. And then a couple years later, he passed away, but it was kind of cool that he had that motivation for me. And it helped me to realize, okay, I have this confidence and I can do this. It's just going to take a lot of hard work and persistence.
So how long did it take you what idea to writing to finishing the manuscript before it was ready to send?
Well, I had this idea for a really long time, but it never really came out until when I first got married. I actually quit my job and I said, I'm going to just sit down and finish this novel. So it took about a year to write it and then another 6 months to edit and start looking into, okay, where do I want to submit this to and get into the publishing business. And a year and a half later, it was published.